Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Anarchy Arena podcast. This time around, it's part 2 of our D&D session, The Defenders of Wildemount. This is the second half of the same game session, so make sure you go back and listen to the first part so you're all caught up and you have your character descriptions. Thankfully, this part will not have the audio problems that were on my voice for the first few minutes of the last game session. Once again, though, this whole game was recorded via Discord using Craigbot, so apologies for the subpar audio quality. But enough of me yammering on, let's jump back into the game with a session that we titled Group Therapy. Okay, back in from break. You wake up the next morning, your last morning at the Leaky Tap, as you prepare to leave Zadash and start your journey towards Palebank Village and the continuation of your adventure to find out exactly who Dr. Alistair Adaris is. You all awake relatively well rested in the morning. Therm, Doug was very good company. He didn't snore too loudly.
Right, but we both farted a lot, so.
I mean, he is a horse, and you are an Therm, so.
Right, like, better not lie a match in the alley today. That's all I'm saying.
And in the background, you hear.
Oh shit! Like, who cast fireball in the middle of the goddamn city?
Gnomes running out, screaming.
You see a figure in a trench coat running away from the scene, going, "That's not me! That's not me!" There you go. Took you a second, John.
So I guess getting up, getting coffee, loading up the cart.
Okay.
I'm already started loading up the cart with the shit we bought the other day. Start tying it down.
Everyone's supplies in the cart. There's still room enough if one person wanted to sit in the cart. So you have one person who could sit inside, one person to drive, and everyone else would walk alongside the horse. You could obviously rotate out who sits and who drives if you wanted.
Or we could, like, Billy Hillbillies this shit and everybody just piles on top.
I'm not sure Doug would appreciate that.
It's alright. Me and Doug will take turns. He can drive and then I'll drive.
Oh my lord.
Listen, you see a man on a cart being with a horse driving it, that's normal. You see a cart with a Goliath and a horse driving the Goliath, that's some shit you remember forever.
Yeah.
Plus, I gotta get my workouts in somehow, Gotta do some, like, fucking Rocky IV shit with Doug in the back.
There you go.
Oh, goodness. Creature of the night.
Oh, it's so
what I missed?
We were just playing out the Rocky montage of me and Doug working out.
Oh God. Let's not. Please. I could just see you like press the horse.
The what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So you all have the cart all loaded up. It is rather early in the morning here in Zadash, and are you ready to leave?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. You make your way out of Zadash. The guards wave at you and your cart and your horse as you make your way out. And you start heading east out of Zadash towards I have to scroll down on the map, towards the Icefist River, where you crossed before, and kind of make your way towards the encampment that you passed on your way here from Hupperduk. 'Cause
And that's the
this-
camp where we fought with this very sexy elf.
Yes, with the powerlifting elf.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
is there anybody there, or has it been abandoned?
Well, you haven't made it there yet. You haven't even made it to the west side of the river yet. You just left Zadash.
That's just
okay.
the route that we're gonna take.
Yeah, that's the route you're taking.
Okay.
Basically, the same way you guys made it down here from Hupperduk, you're going to take the same route back until Hupperduk, and then new areas of adventure.
But for now, we've just left Humperdinck and are heading east.
Zadash, yes.
Excuse me.
All right.
So many names.
100 pints of ale on the wall. 100 pints of ale.
Army? No.
Yeah.
Nope. No. Nope. That's not how this is. That's not going to be one of those trips, bud.
D-O-U-G. 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 And Doug was his name.
Okay. All right,
Come on.
Army, how about you just try spelling different creatures that you see as we go?
All right.
So not just Doug. It can't always be Doug.
Bird.
Already laying that rule out there, huh?
Bird. B. Oh,
Yes. You're getting close. Yes.
and then a backwards B.
And they call that a D. Why am I the one doing this? Why is the elf not doing this? Hold up now.
I really don't know. I think
Woman with the books. Yep.
As you're, we'll do a little
Yeah,
side
no, I'm
thing while
good.
we're waiting on Sass, right?
She's back. She's back.
Okay. As Akashi is attempting to teach Ermtherm to spell, Sasori and Hairbane are the ones walking alongside the cart, and Sasori drops back to listen to this speak and spell, if you will, and Hairbane moves up close to Ermtherm and Doug, and kind of walks alongside Doug as you're moving forward.
right. So so a Q is like a G, but it's been like dropped, and then like the little thing underneath it just goes the other way, or what?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so you know how if you hit someone on the head, on the top of the head with your great axe, and their spine comes out their butt?
Yeah.
So that's like the little tail of the Q.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
And their head is, I guess, the circly part.
right. It would just make sense, you know.
Mhm.
And then that. What
This
sound
is
does that make?
Really shocked that Doug has to hear all of this.
So you know how when the spine comes out of the butt, it makes a weird like sound?
So whenever I see that, I go.
Sort of, just the part. There you go. Less phlegm. Make it clean.
I
Clean
think that's enough letters and numbers for the day. I'm really. I don't know what to do anymore.
That's okay.
Hairbane, what are you doing while all this is happening?
I'm just trying to tune it out. I feel really sorry for Doug having to hear all of this.
Oh.
As you're walking along, Doug just kind of leans his head over and just looks at you, and you could swear that the god that horse just winked at you.
Don't wink at me, you son of a bitch. We're still not friends.
I kind of like pull the reins a little bit to whatever side Airbane's in to make Doug slightly headbutt him.
Doug slightly headbutts you, but gently.
Or it looks like,
no, we're not getting cuddly.
oh, it looks like
Too early in the mission for us to get cuddly.
oh, come on, look at him. He's cute as a butt.
Since when has it ever been too early in the day to get cuddly?
What the fuck is that?
You look off into the distance,
Doug,
over the hill. All of you look over, including Doug, and on top of a hill, watching you all come across the valley, is a bikini-clad elf
Oh shit!
Mia
with her hands on her
Moore!
hips.
Mate, it's me. It's me. On moi. All right, it's mine.
Easy with the words now, big boy. I was hoping I'd run into you lot again.
Oh,
And obviously, from the description, it is in fact Amari who is back to visit you.
hey, Maury. How are you? How are things?
I'm doing quite well there, love. I was doing a bit of hunting on this side of the river on my way back over to the trading encampment. I thought I'd see who is over here on the road, and who do I see but my old friends that helped me took down the goblins.
That's right.
So how's the camp doing since taking down the goblins?
Oh, we're doing rather well, you know. Haven't had a problem with any more goblins or bandits since you lot came through. The trading camp's been prospering, actually. Lots of good trade going back and forth. Are you headed back our way?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, in a way, we're more just kind of probably going to be driving through.
Well, it should take you about the better part of today to get there. What better place to stop for the night than in our encampment?
Yeah, I was kind of curious. Is y'all are you still, at the same spot? Like, have you not moved on yet?
No, we haven't moved on yet. It hasn't been that long since we've seen you. We might move on eventually, but for now, they're still there. And yes, of course, if you'd like to stay at the encampment tonight, we'd be more than happy to have you, considering all the help that you brought last time.
So you're not still mad about the ostrich thing?
Oh, dearie, I've had plenty of things go on since we talked about the ostrich. Never you worry. And she gives you a wink.
So how's the hunting going? Have you
Swear to
found
God, that elf
anything?
winked at me.
No, she didn't. She would never.
Actually,
wink
I
at
was
you.
winking at the horse. What's his name?
Oh,
Oh.
this guy's name is Doug.
Well, hello there, Doug. And she pops down off the hill and saunters up, hips swaying so much it looks like she might break one, and stops with a jump and starts petting Doug. And he just kind of looks over at her, and then he turns his head and looks back at Ermtherm and like bucks his head.
Easy. I don't think he's been gelded.
Well, be that as it may, I'm not much one for the horses, although I do like to just pet them. That's a good horse.
He's a pretty good one. I think he likes you, but to be honest with you, I think everybody might get a bit jealous if you take his boyfriend away.
Oh, is that really what's going on here? Oh, I'd better watch out. Wouldn't want to piss off the horny little devil over there.
Talking about me.
No,
love. We're not talking about you at all.
No, we were actually having a burp contest.
Yep, say Hairpane one, or sorry, not Hairpane. Oh, getting my people confused here. There's so many of you now.
Yeah.
No, Armtherm one. Well, if you're heading back to the trading encampment, might I walk with you again?
Sure.
Yes.
More than welcome to join
You
us.
can walk
Sure.
ahead of us if you'd like.
Yeah.
I second that notion.
Now, all of you keep it in your various britches until we make it to the encampment. You hear?
Mine never left my britches.
Yes, I'm still a bit sad about that, dearie, but I'll get over it.
Cool.
I look at Akashi and go, you know that's mine, right?
I mean, I know that you think that it's yours.
I'm just saying.
And I also know that you shouldn't think of women as objects.
I'm not thinking of it as objects. I'm just saying that is the mate that I have chosen.
Uh-huh.
As you're having this conversation, your caravan gets closer to the river, and you're nowhere near the bridge, so you now have to find a shallow area to cross the river.
Oh.
Amari, let me help you. I'm sure some of these
Nope,
rocks are
I help her. Thank you. You can take the reins.
Help! I don't know what you're all going on about. It's just a wee bit of water. I don't see what the problem is. And with that, you watch her jump from the edge of the river and in and swim across. And she stands on the other side in her now very sheer bikini cloth with her hands on her hips. Is that a problem? It's just a wee bit of water.
I think
Ooh, it's a little chilly out here.
I was about to say.
Just straight up otaku Japanese nosebleed.
Thank you for that.
Koshi, you know what? Actually, Oh, are we doing river jumping now? All right, I'll maybe get off real quick. I want to do a river jump, and I would like to
You
do a
guys
river
want to help
jump.
me get the horse and the wagon across?
No, we're
beat
fine.
Ermsam in this river jumping contest.
Oh,
No,
God.
apparently they're all destined to try and impress Amari. Okay, let's
Um,
see. How do we want to do this? Let's
Uh,
see. You're all having a river jumping contest.
I would like to use
So-
athletics since I
Do
can
a
use it to
dex
try
check.
to jump an
Acrobatics.
unusually long distance. I'll pull off a stunt mid jump.
That's
Okay,
acrobatics.
No, that's athletics as well.
Uh, I'm gonna call it acrobatics for the sake of this because I feel like trying to do all that is most definitely more related to dexterity than it is for strength.
And all I'm going to say is it literally says you try to jump an unusually long distance or pull off the stunt mid jump with athletics.
Oh, does it really? It literally
Yes.
says that, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So I would like to
Okay,
use that.
and I'm reading it as tumbling, which would be tumbling in midair, which falls under dexterity. So I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll average it out. You'll roll a d20 each for athletics and acrobatics, and we'll average out what the roll is. We'll make it fair.
Okay.
So that is I'm having to do math right. 21 with athletics.
Okay.
Acrobatics is a 4.
Okay, so the average of that would be really low. The average of that would be, let's see, use a 21 and a 4. Your average roll there is a 12.
We're still just doing 1d20, right?
D20 for 1 for acrobatics and then 1 for athletics, and then we're going to average them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Ermtherm got a 12. Remember that, please.
I'll write it down.
Okay, who else is in this river jumping contest?
I
I
am.
would attempt.
Okay. Hairbane, why don't you go ahead and go first? Give me a roll each for athletics and acrobatics. Tell me what they both are, and we'll average them.
Okay, so my first roll was an 19 for acrobatics,
Okay.
and then a 17 for athletics.
Hey, you have a total of an 18 for your river jump.
Hell yeah. Suck on that.
All right, and Akashi?
So we're doing acrobatics and then athletics, or athletics and
Yeah.
acrobatics?
It doesn't matter. I'm averaging them together.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's gonna be a 22 and 14.
Okay, you also got an 18 for your river jump. So, as all of you are attempting to impress Amari Sasser, I'm assuming you're not getting in on the river jumping contest. You're too busy trying to get the cart
Probably
across.
wrestling Doug.
Yeah. I'm focused on our supplies, on what's
Okay.
important.
All of you attempt to jump off the same hill, little overlook of the river that Amari did. Ermtherm, you land in a belly flop, but what can only be described as the world's most graceful belly flop anyone has ever seen. And you make it a little more than halfway across the river with your jump.
Okay.
The two of you, on the other hand, for some reasons, tieflings are just better at this. Both of you execute various flips and twists in the air. And while your acrobatic side has allowed for you to look more impressive in the air, you make it just shy of where Ermtherm is. And the three of you swim to the other side and stand next to Amari. She goes, well, I didn't realize I'd be judging a contest today, but I have to say, the two of you are all flippy and whatnot, but him over here, he no flips or anything. It was rather graceful of him. I don't know if I can break this tie here. I'd say all of you were wonderful in your own way. And as she kind of bay watches her hair to get all the water out of it.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
That's my bad.
I reach in the water and snatch a salmon real quick. Like,
okay. You want to roll a dex check for me to see if you can actually pull out a fish?
Yes.
18.
18. So as you're all standing there and she's trying to judge and she's Baywatching her hair, you kind of, without even looking, just ram your hand down into the water behind you. You no-scope a fish out of the water and hold it up. And it's an impressive looking fish. It's a rainbow trout.
Beautiful fish.
I take a bite literally from the head of it and just.
Well, I don't quite know what that was supposed to mean, but impressive, I guess.
I'm just hungry.
Oh, all right then. Well, the three of you are over here, busy trying to get in my skivvies, and with that, she jumps back and does the most acrobatic aerial leap you've ever seen, and lands next to Sasray and the cart, and starts helping her trying to move things. I'm sorry about that, dear. I don't know why they're so eager. Has it been a while since any of them have had a bit of fun?
No, they just indulge in too much fun. And also, they
Well-
don't have to take their time. Everything in every relationship should be cultivated like a wonderful wine or whiskey.
She's
Some of us don't have the
trying
time
to get
for
with
that.
her. She is trying to get with her. I'm
I'm just
taking
a
you.
fucker.
This is a long con over there.
What was that, Airbane?
Throw me back across. I have to. I'll take one for the team.
I'll be honest with you, Airbane. I don't think you really have a shot.
Do you want to lose her to the fucking horse?
I mean, if I can watch, that would be kind of cool.
Oh God.
You know, I think I'm going to turn back into a fish and just swim away.
If you don't get caught by the current, or caught by Ernthorn's like
I don't,
ridiculous fishing skills over there.
Right? Yeah. I'm just
To
gonna
be
risk
honest, how to disguise doesn't really work that way. It's supposed to be just literally humanoid. So
Yeah, it's disguises, not magical transfiguration.
yeah, it's not the hat of polymorph. So they'll keep that in your pocket.
I feel like you took polymorph in a completely different context than it was meant. Yep, she did.
I think that's
All right,
a
stop
completely
being
different
bootstrapping,
hat.
May.
Sorry. Damn, where'd my beer? Sorry. Okay.
Can we have gotten the horse and the cart back across?
Roll for it.
With Sasray, you and Amari managed to get the cart righted, and Doug's chugging along. He's got no problem. He likes the water a little bit. He's kind of thrashing his head around in it, but he's still pulling the cart forward, and you managed to push it up onto the bank without a problem. Doug just happy as a pig and shit that he got to walk through the water and happy to be around all of you. And he just kind of looks, you watch him look over to Mari, and you swear to God that horse winked at her.
I swear to God, there's more to this horse than this horse. See, I told you. I swear to God, you're more than what you are.
I mean, I'm just sitting there
I
eating a
wonder it's
fish,
how.
going,
Are
"Oh,
you
what was
truly
taking him so long?"
prefer the thing of horses, the shape of horses?
Why is she talking like a fucking horse?
Is she interrogating Doug?
I'm asking questions of Doug.
So yes, you're interrogating a horse.
There's a lot you can learn from this horse. He's very expressive.
He's a ham.
You're a ham.
Actually, he's most definitely a horse. Hams are a lot shorter and taste better.
Yeah.
Have you eaten a horse?
Yeah,
Well-
sometimes when you're out on the trail, you don't have a choice there, lad.
By the way, Sasori, just so you know, since you're a druid, you literally could change into a horse right now.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to change into a horse because you asked me to, Hairbane. This is not some brony bullshit.
Doug needs a friend. He needs someone he can actually relate to.
But it also might make it easier to get this cart across the fucking river if you do that.
Oh, the cart's already gotten across.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be that mean to you guys.
Thanks.
Okay. I try. Okay, so you've gotten the cart across. Everyone's attempted to impress Amari with their various water jumping and fishing skills as you make your way towards the trading encampment. You guys make it there with Amari in tow. Every once in a while, just petting Doug as you're walking along, all of you joking, laughing, talking. It's a nice jovial day on the road. And just as the sun's beginning to set, you begin to see the outlines of the trading encampment. And Amari runs ahead. I'll go let them know that you're coming back with me so they don't get worried. We'll get some food ready for you. We'll see you here in just a little bit. And with that, she dashes off.
Oh, all right. All right, so I'm gonna marry that girl. Yep.
Hate to leave, but watch her.
That wasn't any abnormal behavior, right?
From Amari?
Nosebleed.
Shut up.
Who are you asking?
You.
Based on what you know about her, I don't know. Give me an insight check.
Oh God. Oh, hold on.
What did that hit?
A 25-pound weight.
Oh.
It had a very precise tone to it.
So is that a 25?
I know, didn't it? It
on the
was just a perfect little ting. All right, so insight. I have nothing for insight. So 15.
Okay. As far as you know from your previous interactions with Amari, her general joviness and then running ahead to the village seems pretty on character for her.
Okay. So to make sure there's no like red flags or alarms or nothing going on potentially.
As much as you know about her, it's pretty on point for what you know of her.
Cool.
God damn, you're so paranoid, Katie.
I know. I was about to be like, damn, girl.
I think you misunderstood, Akashi. She's out to get some, not out to get you.
She's still out to get something.
I think it's sex.
Look, I can be paranoid and still have a good time. Keeps me safe.
I don't think you can.
Mm-hmm.
What is paranoid?
I don't ever remember having a good time while being paranoid.
You weren't trying hard enough.
What's paranoid?
It's
Is that like a pair of things called noids?
new state of mind, Ermy. It's like when you're constantly worried that someone's going to hit you over the head with a battle axe and shove your spine out your ass.
So me constant.
It's come full circle.
To be fair,
When you're always worried you're going to get cued.
That's a good. I might remember that fucking line, call she next time I attack someone. Prepare to be cute.
I'm dying over here because if this ends up getting out for the podcast, anyone who listens across the pond, a cue in the other sense is what we would call like a line. So prepare to be stood in line.
It's so facetious.
Prepare to be slightly convenienced.
Right.
Like,
prepare to stand 6 feet away from each other for the time being.
That's right, social distancing, folks.
6 feet! And then move 6 feet forward.
Very slowly while somebody yells at the auto teller or the auto checkout.
The 6 foot distance between you and the other person.
That I had to remind you about how many times in Walmart the other day?
I'm so good. It was so bad.
They have fucking markers, man.
Out front, not throughout the entirety of the store.
this portion of the podcast brought to you by PC.
Right?
I need a quarantine yellow brick road.
Yes.
Then go to my job. Like,
No,
it's
I'm
literally
loving
got
the
yellow
unemployment
tape.
payment right now, so I'm taking that shit while I can.
Right?
I was so convinced we were gonna end up being fucked because of this, so I'm just like, knock on wood.
Well, we've yet to find out how fucked we are yet. So,
To be
Okay.
determined.
Right. So you guys finish walking into the encampment, and the fires are lit, and then there are various animals on spits over those fires, and all the traders wave to you very gleefully as you enter camp. And Amari is quick to lead Doug over to where there's some feed for him, and points out various tents that all of you could stay in. Each of you get your own tents this time. They were kind enough to set one up for each of you.
They love us.
Oh, thank you.
And one of the traders brings each of you a bowl with a heaping stew of the various animals that were on spit, as well as some fresh baked bread. And you sit down for a nice evening meal with the traders and Amari.
are there any kids in this camp?
There's one or two, I'd say probably around the 8 to 9 year old range, running around, just kind of playing with each other.
Ermtherm, why don't you play your flute for them?
Yeah, play your
You
flute.
read my mind.
All right, hold on one second. Shit. Every time I put my fucking hookah down, I need an extender for my damn headphones. 1 second. I'm gonna look something up.
Finding something.
I'm looking something up.
Oh, the pain. The pain.
I'm trying to find a song. So do whatever else you
Okay,
got
well, while you're doing that, while you're preparing to play on your flute for the kids, Sasray, you're kind of where are you? Where you're sitting to eat here in the encampment?
I guess is there a fire around?
I mean, yeah, there's a couple campfires here in the encampment.
I guess I want to be by one of the fires, just kind of enjoying my meal and staring into the flame.
Okay. While you're eating, say what?
Kind of reminds me of my collegiate studies, you know. Bunch of people, fire, food.
Okay. As you're sitting there, Amari kind of stealthily sits down next to you. Sasre, I couldn't help but notice everyone seemed jovial to see me, yes, but everyone seemed a bit on edge. Is everything all right?
Oh, you know. Just on another mission.
Whereabouts are y'all headed to?
Some town up north past Hupperduck. What's it called again?
Palebank Village.
Palebank Village.
Oh, you're headed way up there into the cold wastes there, aren't you?
Yeah.
What's got you lot headed up that way?
We've heard some rumors about people getting like aging spells casted on them.
I had heard the same stories. I didn't know what to make of them myself. You and your band are going to investigate that.
Yeah, gonna try to research the magic that was used for it a little bit too, just to try to see if there's a way for us to like stop this from happening again. You know.
Well, that's very noble of you. But I got to ask: is that why you're on edge so much? Is just where you're headed, and you don't know what you're walking into? Is everything else all right?
I don't like not knowing things, so yes.
I can understand that. You know, if there's anything I can do to help.
I will let you know if anything comes to mind.
Very well, dearie. And she stands up and she kind of puts her hands on your shoulders and leans over. He goes, and not in your ear and not like whispery quiet, but relatively quiet, just quiet enough for you to hear. Just remember to relax. Everything will go as it should. And with that, she saunters off.
Okay, I found my music.
What am I privy to all the time? Why am I the one privy to this shit? She knows more. She knows more. She's letting on.
Okay.
Y'all think
While that's
I'm the one
happening,
that's paranoid.
huh?
I said, y'all think I'm the one that's paranoid.
Exactly. And I'm here just eating food,
It's
staring
like
into
everybody.
a fire.
There's the horse has an agenda. The elf has an agenda.
I mean, I think everyone's out to get my secrets. Come on.
While Sasray's been having that conversation and the kids are running around and whatnot, you see all these kids running around and it hits you with a bit of inspiration as you pull out your pan flute and start playing a little tune for the children. And as you pull the pipes up and they hear it, the kids stop what they're doing, they stop their playing, and they run up and they just stare at you entranced. And a couple of the other people at the encampment look over, and they've got big smiles on their faces, and they start walking over to get a better listen at you. Give me a performance check.
I got you. Hold on 1 second. I can't see anything.
Oh, I just realized what that was. I didn't look at the title. I just copied the link. That's beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, hold on. I want to turn up.
That's the sound of silence.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
It is.
That's beautiful.
Hold on.
Is that a native flute one? Yep.
Yes, it is.
It's one of my favorites.
I'm trying to
16.
get into the damn chat so
16?
I can look at it.
As you're playing, the villagers start crowding around more and more, and they're just kind of sitting there smiling with the firelight. Very soft smiles. Everyone's just enjoying this somber tune, and the kids have sat down at your feet, cross-legged, just looking up at you with like this look of awe on their face as you're playing, and your eyes are closed, and you're getting really into it. And at the back of the crowd, as you're playing, you look up for a second to see that all the people are there, and instead of making you nervous, it actually makes you concentrate more on your playing. And as you're sitting there, you look at the back of the crowd, and Amari is standing at the back of the crowd with her head kind of cocked, looking at you, almost with a look of concern on her face while you're playing this tune. But the rest of the crowd is just happy to hear some new music, and they're really enjoying themselves. Hairbane, how do you feel about his playing?
I am squat down in similar fashion, like the kids, also staring up at Hermtherm in dumbfound and awe.
And
Akashi?
Appreciative. I'm enjoying. I like this weird melody. Sad but happy at the same time.
Sassray?
It's beautiful. I'm in awe.
as I'm
You're skinny
playing,
against Doug.
Love Doug. Doug is the only pure thing that is in this world right now.
as I'm playing, you see like a tear kind of come down, and as my eyes are closed and I'm focusing on this, I'm assuming that other people that are in this encampment kind of follow along and start playing with.
Yeah, there's a couple of roughly strung up guitars that are playing along with the rhythm, drum here or there kind of going with it, and they're looking at you while they're playing and following intently and adding to it. There's some slow dancing happening from some of the adults, and the kids are just kind of sitting next to Hairbane, swaying back and forth while they look up at you.
This song, as I pull away, as the other person playing the flute is there. This song was a favorite of my tribe. It was one that we would play as we were going across the plains, across the Glory Run. And I feel that now it's more important than ever to bring that culture back. Make sure that we don't forget who we are. Because I feel like in a world like this, where empires and diplomats and people are at war, that we should realize that at the end of the day, we only have ourselves to rely on.
And just as you finish your speech, the other flute finishes, and the entire crowd applauds. Some of them are wiping tears from their cheeks, and the kids are just looking up at you with these big smiles, and each one hugs one of your legs. So you've got a kid on each leg.
I'm a little bit taken back, but I kind of like put my hand pat him on the shoulder. Like,
I also am going to rise to my feet and passionately hug Ermtherm's leg.
Oh shit! Oh, oh god! You couldn't have circulation, son. It's there. Oh Jesus fucking Christ! Give me a fucking Charlie horse. Sorry.
I'm just so proud of you, buddy.
I'm proud of you too, Airbane. You know, you haven't been as much of a shit, and I appreciate
True.
it. It's been noticed. You know.
Yeah, nearly dying today for the 4th time since I've known you people. Kind of
Well,
starting to
that's kind of
put things
in
perspective.
That's kind of on you, to be honest to you. But I understand, and I appreciate it. It's been, like I said, it's been noticed. And, I know we're probably going to be heading to where my people once lived, and I want to need your strength. I need every one of y'all's strength. Because I don't know if I'm ready to see it. It's been about 10 years.
Well, you guys had my back when I met the gentleman again, so I will have your back going to your homeland.
What she said. We got your back, buddy.
I just hope that it's not been looted or destroyed by war.
Well, Ermtherm, honestly, I would try not to worry about it too much. We don't know. You won't know until we get there, and you're just not going to help anybody or yourself by worrying too much until we have any definitive answers.
That's odd coming from you, but okay.
And just
well,
remember,
I
pal,
like my definitive answers.
Right.
And just remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Says the one who wants to die every goddamn day.
You shut up and go talk to Doug.
No. She brings up a good point. Why do you always like? What's chasing you? Come on, we've been through some shit together. I think it's time for you to be honest with us. Every one of us has been mostly honest. I mean, Sasray, I honestly
Boring.
I mean, eventually she'll like come up with some shit like, she's a serial killer in another part
This
of
one time at band camp.
Motherfucker, I will reach through the soda and slap you.
Sometimes when Sasare reminisces about her past, I can smell the smell of old books just like permeating off of her.
There's had some fun times in the library. So yeah.
Between that and her like rank foot disability thing, like
look,
That is
what's wrong
true.
with my feet?
There's a
It's
lot wrong
cursed.
with your feet. There's a lot. It's especially the right one.
Why do I feel like I'm back in my village dealing with all my cousins?
Oh, you're a
Because we're
family.
family now.
Oh, tell us about your family.
It's not much to tell about my family.
See, I told you she'd be boring.
Yeah, exactly. Boring druid over here.
Well, what are their names? Do they have names or anything
I
like
have an
that?
aunt. And she's pretty cool. She's the one who got me into magic.
Oh, she's still around?
No, not anymore.
I'm sorry.
She passed recently, actually. I am partially on the road.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sasra. I didn't know. I mean, I hope I didn't make you sad or anything.
No. She's in a better place. She's in a much, much better place.
Why is her being dead the reason why you're on the road? What did she do to you?
She always wanted me to travel more instead of just staying stuck in the library all the time.
So you chose to stay in the library?
I love books. I love reading them. I love learning languages and different spells and different cultures and rituals.
But
I don't know about you, but I do my learning on the streets.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it also seems like you'd be pretty good at, like, nature and stuff like that.
Yeah, you would think that of a druid, but this gal likes gardens, and you know, I do know how to scavenge. Yeah, I had to learn that with my other family. So
Your other family?
but we're not getting into that.
No,
I think we're getting into it.
other family.
No, this pallid elf is gonna go do her meditation and catch y'all on the flip side in the morning.
As she
Well, I
walks
thought I
away,
was the one.
as she walks away, I go, you know she's got bodies buried somewhere, right?
Why do you think that she's a serial?
Why do you think I'm a serial killer?
Should
I
we go
mean-
to the cart?
I mean, I don't think she's killed anyone recently, but you know, I think like she's got like, a trail of fucking
You've
bodies
seen
out.
my arrow skills, right? Like I'm shite.
We should
Did she
ask
kill
Doug
her?
what he thinks about her.
Did she kill her hand by accident?
Oh shit! What if she accidentally like poisoned her or something? That's the reason why she's not. She's looking for like shit in books instead of like being all naturey and shit like most druids. Maybe that she feels guilty
She
about it or
does seem
something.
like one that would chase what went wrong her entire life.
Why does
Yeah,
she have two families?
Oh no, that's kind of fucking weird too.
How do you know it's only 2? She could have 7 different families.
True, she could be like those travelers that wear like the bright colors. You know, where they're all a
Gypsies?
family. Well, I think the proper term is Roma, but
It depends on where you're from.
true. Or Romani, or actually, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know what we call them here.
Roma, Romani Chow. It's your
Yeah.
region.
Right. You know a lot about the traveling people.
I mean, those who go unnoticed and unnamed in the streets tend to get noticed by me.
Oh. Right. Well, I think we need to probably suffer off for a bit. I'm gonna go to bed. Yeah, I need to sleep.
Are you really going to bed? Or are you going to go chase the elf?
No, I'm not gonna go chase Sasser. That's rude.
That's just a
I
road.
think he was talking about Amari.
Oh, you know, if she wants to come to me, she'll come to me.
That's very restrained for you, Ermtha.
I know, you're usually all like, rage!
You know, I've just been thinking like
Less rage?
not less rage, but more focused.
So more rage?
More like rage.
Rage with a
that's-
purpose.
Right, yeah. You know, like not just wanton destruction just for the sake of wanton destruction.
Right.
This will be interesting.
It's the more I play my fucking flute, the more I guess I get calm. It's kind of fucking weird if I'm gonna be honest.
What an impossible task.
No, it's weird. It just feels like I don't know. It's like for some reason music's been calling me lately. I don't know what it is.
Maybe you were a bard in another life.
What this shit is about?
Oh, buddy. You're missing out.
Wait, what? Is it like those people play in bars and shit?
Right.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Wait, you can. Okay, sorry, mind's being blown right now. Too much thinking. Going to bed now.
Ermtherm walks off to the tent that's been designated for him. Akashi, Hairbane, what are you doing? Are you also going to bed down for the night?
I think
I think I'm
probably.
going to go fuck around with Doug for a minute or two.
Okay. So, let's see. We already did Sasori, so let's do... Okay. So, Akashi and Ermtherm walk off to their respective tents, and Hairbane, you go over to go check on Doug, and as you walk over, he picks his head up and he looks at you, and he leans back down to the feed that he's kind of just slowly munching on, more like a snack than a meal. It's there. He's going to eat it. He's a horse. And as you're standing there just kind of petting and looking at him, you hear a crunch in the grass behind you, and you turn around and Amari's standing there. And she looks at you and goes, Harbane, are you all right? I didn't expect you to be here with the horse of all people, or of all animals.
Oh, yeah, I had some questions because I don't trust a horse.
So you are going to ask the horse.
Yeah.
And how exactly did you plan to do that?
I mean, he can understand us. I mean, look at him. I swear he winks at me sometimes.
Doug turns his head and takes turns looking at both of you, and you swear to God that horse just winked at both of you. Yes, this is going to be an ongoing thing.
See what I mean? He's like human inside a horse.
I don't know about that. Maybe he's just a rather intuitive horse. I have to wonder, though, what's up with the whole trust thing? I mean, he's a horse.
You know, I've seen stranger things in my travels with these other three goofballs. You gotta learn to stay on your toes at every angle.
You sound like you're preparing for some trouble.
Well, it kind of comes with the whole having horns thing. Trouble tends to follow me around.
Are you expecting something wherever you lot are going?
Expecting isn't exactly the right word. More like anticipating.
Well, anticipating trouble means you're usually going to find it whether you're looking for it or not. I'd say be prepared, but try not to be so nervous about it.
That's some good advice. I think I'm gonna go turn in.
Well, I've been around the forest a time or two, so any advice I can give, I'm happy to give it. And she walks up to you and gives you what can only be described as the friendliest hug you've had in a long time. It basically akin to the same level of hug that you gave Therm earlier, and she just kind of gently pats you on the back, and she stands back, grabs you by the shoulders, and just gives you a smile, and then off to bed with you now.
I'm feeling a little warm. Is that normal?
Oh, don't worry about that. Off to bed now. Keep your hands above the blankets. There's a lot of people in this camp.
My heart is kind of like racing right now. Is there a plague going around?
I wouldn't worry about that.
Okay. All right.
Watch your hands, don't touch your face.
I'm going to bed.
Good night there, Harbane.
Your hands so much.
Okay, next. Therm, as you're getting into the area they've set aside for you, it is a tent, but it's got, for lack of a better term, like a windowed panel on the side so you can look out at the stars and feel a little bit more comfortable.
Let's be honest here, it didn't have that, but it has been modified.
Has been modified. Yes, you have modified it. You just bit a hole out of it. Hopefully it doesn't rain.
I have a knife, like a carving knife.
You bit a hole out of it.
That's my character. I carved it with the knife. Like,
fine. You carved it with a knife. But you seriously consider biting a hole out of it.
I did.
Okay.
I mean, there's at least some biting
Can
to
the
rip.
hole be carved in the shape of a horse?
No, it's just a window. If I carved it in a horse, I wouldn't be able to see anything. It wouldn't be.
That requires sitting up.
As I look up to the sky, what do I see as far as, like, astronomically?
As you're looking up into the stars, it's a relatively clear night, not a whole lot of clouds in the sky. A very light breeze is coming in, and the stars are exceptionally bright, and you can make out a couple of the constellations that your Goliath parents taught you as a child before everything happened. Specifically, your favorite, the horse constellation, is very prominent in the night sky tonight.
kind of just laying back and looking up to it. Maybe I'm not alone. Maybe I've got people around.
As you're thinking this, there's a little bit of light peeks in through the tent, and it's Amari's head. Armtharm, may I come in?
Yeah, certain.
She comes in and she sits on the other side of the tent, cross-legged, and she looks at you. Armtharm, I couldn't help but notice that you seem a little on edge, and that song you played earlier, it was beautiful, but it was so sad. Are you all right?
Just kind of looking at shit. Just I don't know how to say it. It's kind of I'm going into spot of my life. I think I'm. I don't know how to put this, but I've been thinking about how I've been alone, but I feel like
Hey, dude, could you speak up a little bit?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to be quiet because Jesse's trying to sleep.
I understand. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I've been, thinking to myself a lot lately that I've been thinking about the whole world as it is. Like,
Here, while you're talking, roll over for me, will you, dear?
all right.
And she rolls you over on your stomach, and she kind of sits up on your back, and she starts giving you not a sensual massage, but a very relaxing massage as you start talking.
I've just been. Oh, yeah, that's good. I've been just thinking, like, everything has its time in the day. Like, maybe my tribe going away gave another tribe a chance at life. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit weird.
Is that helping you try to look at the better side of things?
It's well, I don't know. It's kind of giving me perspective. By the way, that constellation right there, the small one, that's Ratatask. He's a little rat fellow that runs up and down the tree of life.
I fucking hate you.
I'm just saying real shit. It's a squirrel that runs up and down the tree of life that the Dawnfather gave us.
I'm aware of the different constellations up there. I've studied them many a night being out here under the stars. Tell me, what constellation do you look to the most?
I think the one that I personally like. It's gonna be weird, right? This one called a Dunyer. It's a deer. So
I expected a horse.
I know, right? But the thing is, the reason why deer, because it's constantly running away from the hunter, right? I kind of feel like that deer sometimes.
And why do you feel like the deer sometimes?
I feel like I'm constantly getting hunted, but I'm always running away from it. I don't know. Maybe I should start facing the things that are happening in front of me. Or maybe I'm just being a little bit too emotional just because, I'm getting close to my hometown, basically.
Well, your hometown, where your home area, where's that?
It's the plains here, right off the Glory Run.
Oh, up north you're headed then?
Yeah, that's where we're headed. It's kind of a offset little well, basically we're trying to stop people from starting the next world war.
Oh, I can understand how that would put a heavy task on you, and probably why you're so tense up here. Just remember, Armtharm, when you get up there, everything is as it should be. And maybe if you're lucky, you'll find an answer or two while you're back visiting where your village was. Keep an open mind, though.
I have this weird hope, right? This weird hope that maybe I'm not the only one that got out. Maybe there's somebody else there. And maybe, just maybe, that I can get answers out of it.
I think that's a good hope to have, and I think it's a good thing to be thinking of as you're falling asleep. You know, something to ease the mind, as it were. And she slides off of your back and sits back down. Tharm, I think what you really need is a solid night's rest before the rest of this journey. And
Hey,
I hope that I was able to help.
Stop that.
Yeah,
Thank
stop breathing.
But I think hopefully I was able to help you relax a bit, and just remember what I said. Keep an open mind when you get up to your home area, will you? I hate to see you like this, big man.
I appreciate it. I really do.
And she leans over and gives you a quick kiss on the cheek and says, "Off to bed with you now. You lot have a lot of travels to go."
Yeah. You stay safe, all right? I don't know what's going to happen after this.
Well, I'll certainly do my best, and don't worry. This won't be the last time you see me. I can guarantee it. I'll keep my ear to the ground for you lot. And with that, she walks out of the tent.
Sell in to fall asleep.
Okay. Akashi, what are you doing in your tent?
Sharpening my daggers and playing with my new dagger. Looking at my scary face dagger.
Looking at your new scary face dagger.
Kill me, please, dagger.
Scary face dagger.
As you're sitting there shining and polishing and sharpening your new daggers, there's a flutter on the outside of the tent, and Amari pokes her head in. Akashi, are you busy? Ooh, what is that? That's beautiful. May I see?
You can look at it.
And she, may I come in the tent?
Yes, you can come in the tent.
She sits down, a respectable, 2.5 feet away from you, and she looks like, that right there is beautiful. It looks new. I don't remember you having that last time.
It is new. I got it recently in Zadash.
That's beautiful craftsmanship right there. Are you expecting trouble? The reason you're going to need new daggers?
Well, I've just learned through my life to always expect a little trouble, and when you come across new technology or new weaponry, then you'll pick up what you can along the way.
You seem, if you don't mind me saying so, dear, you seem more than a wee paranoid.
I'm extremely paranoid.
May I ask why?
My whole trade is based off of paranoia.
Well, that's true. I mean, I would assume, being of the rogue persuasion, as you so obviously are. But I would hope that you would temper that paranoia a little bit.
I mean...
Especially around your new friends here.
Yes and no. If wishes were fishes. But here's the thing. Growing up a rogue and a tiefling, you already have so many targets put on your back. I mean, I've got 2 of them sprouting out my fucking forehead. So,
Believe me, I know what you mean. Look at me. I'm a wood elf and I run around in a bikini. I know what it's like to have targets on me.
Well, if your
I got,
targets
I got 2 of them right here, and she points right to them.
But I mean, I will say, since grouping up with these freakazoids, I've been, I guess, being less of a solo artist and more of a team player. It's just weird because most of my life, the, loyalty has been to myself and one other person, not a whole group of bandits and assholes and Goliaths and elves.
But are you getting accustomed to it, maybe?
More and more every day. But it's weird. It causes a conflict of emotions.
That I can understand, believe me. Especially living out in the wild as I do, I can appreciate that. I've had a talk with everybody tonight, trying to ease their minds. I know you've been headed out on the road, and I know it's not going to be easy. So I thought I'd do my best as maybe not as a friend, but as a friendly acquaintance to help everybody. And for some reason, I get the feeling that you're one of the more stressed out right now. So, if I may, I'd like to help you with that stress. And with that, Amari leans in and kisses you. And the rest of you, as you're falling asleep, fall asleep to the sounds of
Sweet,
lesbianic
sweet love.
trysts.
Sweet love making.
And with that, we will end tonight's episode and pick back up the following morning after Amari has given everybody a bit of therapy. And I figured since she cracked Therm last time, it was only fair she cracked somebody else this time. And I know Katie / Akashi was ready for it.
Katie, can we please call this episode Sex Therapy?
We should just call it Amari therapy.
Or group therapy? No, call it group therapy.
Okay, well, that's better than the title I had originally given it, which was just the Wildemount Department of Transportation.
Oh my god!
I like group therapy more.
I like
Group therapy.
more.
Group therapy it is.
Oh my god.
All right.
It's written in Group Therapy, episode 11.
And there you have it. That concludes part 2 of session 11 of our D&D game, which now you should know why we named this episode Group Therapy. This game is so much fun for me to run, and I hope just as much fun for all of you to listen to. If you want to hear more of this game, leave a comment on the YouTube video for this episode, or tweet it to either John or I directly, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you guys so much for listening to this. Make sure to follow us wherever you're listening, and we will see you next time on the Anarchy Arena Podcast.